Okay, well, we're here today now for a march in honor of Trayvon Martin. It was called here today for 6 o'clock. So I'm here in order to hopefully speak to some people and encourage them to really notice what you're here for. It's good to come out and march. It's another thing, the same law that killed Trayvon Martin is applicable today in Alabama. The same stand your ground law is applicable today here in Alabama. And not only is Trayvon is a life that did not need to be lost. If we'd have learned from our lessons in 1966 when Sammy Young Jr. was slain and his murderer Marvin Seegers got off for supposedly self-defense right over there, that was a death that we could have learned from. Trayvon shouldn't be gone. And now this is a test of our people. This is a test to see just how many Negroes can be killed, just how many can be murdered before people stand up and actually do something. It's open season on right now. It's open season. You can be murdered, you can be killed, and you will not go to jail. But don't fight any dogs, because you will go to jail. Michael Vick.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought.
Justice.
Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Is Shaquilla Sanders. A lot of you know me as a fellow classmate, and I just had, a couple statements, I wanted to share with you, and then I'm gonna let my friends go. But I'm standing up here today, and you can see I don't have on a hoodie. And I'm not wearing a hoodie because Trayvon didn't need to have a hoodie on. If he didn't have a hoodie on, if he didn't have his Skittles, if he didn't have that tea, and that man decided that he wanted to shoot him and kill him in his cold blood, he would still be dead. And I have my sweater on to let it be known that you don't have to look suspicious to be killed in a world like this where criminals run free. You don't have to scare them at all, obviously. Nobody has to fear you to kill you. They can just kill you and then it'll happen and nobody will come and there'll be no justice until we stand up and say enough. So everybody, we need to stand up and come together and realize and use this incident that we all come together, that we don't not only need to stop killing from other races, but we need to stop killing ourselves as well.
I was able to march from Selma to Montgomery as well with my fellow colleague Lindsay. And today, I speak to everyone, but I mainly speak to the youth that are out here today. Those that are as young as you, as young as my son who turns 1 on Thursday, the 22-year-olds like myself. Now is the time. We've been given the opportunity. Just like Emmett Till died back in the 50s, this year in 2012, Trayvon Martin has been martyred. So today, we have come together. But what are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do the day after that? The week after that? The month after that? Because the law still exists. And people say it's not about race, it's about the law. Of course it's about race. Because if a white man was shot and killed in cold blood, like Trayvon Martin, a black man was killed, it would have been a whole different situation. It wouldn't be marches on the square, it would be marches in the courthouse in Washington, D.C. to change the law immediately. And even beyond that, my fellow youth, my elders, we must be aware. We gotta be aware. It's too many people my age that are complacent. I don't want to go out to the square today. I got something else to do. What do you have to do if your black fellows are dying? I really ask you that today. I don't want to get on my soapbox and preach, but I ask you to ask yourself, what can you give to this movement? What can you give to this struggle? What can you give to this fight? What can you give to your community? And I also ask today, on April the 17th, come together as we take back our communities. Because this black on black violence is disgusting. In 2010, I lost 2 of my friends right here in Tuskegee. And there was no march, no signs. The most people had to say was, oh, well, they was probably doing something they didn't need to do. Really? They didn't need to be dying at 25 and 26 years of age. They need to be continued. They had graduated from Tuskegee University. Why are they dead? Not only that, why haven't we said anything? This community is enveloped by silence. And I ask you today, after you leave this march, you stand up and you shout, I will not have this anymore. Forget a law, it's about standing up and doing what we need to do as black people.
Hello everyone, my name is Lindsay Lunsford. I'm a representative as my colleagues from the Young Black Artist Movement, YBAM, and I wanted to share with you before I speak this poem. Now this poem was given to me from God, and I believe it was, I got this poem, the idea for this, after watching the news story about Trayvon Martin. So, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? I can't even comprehend this. Cold-blooded, outright, straight up and down, no bones about it, murder. Like, that baby's never gonna breathe again. A grown man kills a child outright and he's not strung up the very same night. See, I'm watching the news, and in between headlines about free-range homicide, they start pitching this TV show called Mad Men. It's about white whimsy in the mid-1960s from the establishment's view. And then it's all clear. See, it's all the same. They just figured out how to murder Sammy Young all over again. George Zimmerman, Marvin Segrist, the same type of miserable, fearful slime who fear and who run free because killing a nigga ain't a crime. Not when they're young and full of potential. Not when they're strong, tall, and fine. No, then it's easy to put their life on the line. And what do we do to protect our children? Will we honor their name, or we say that their hoodie was a little too dark and their walk a little too thuggish? Please do not deceive your children. Don't look them in their eyes and lie. By God, don't tell them that they're safe, that their lives can't be taken for no apparent reason, that any non-black man can claim their breath. Tell them that being young and black in America is a crime punishable by death. And with that, I wanted to say that if you forget your past, you're forced to repeat it. January 3rd, 1966, Sammy Young was murdered right over there, and his killer got off because of self-defense. Because Sammy was a young black man, and his killer intended his life, and that's all you need. No other excuse. And so what I'm saying is, there was no need for Trayvon to die. His death was easily preventable. You know what his death signifies? Open season. It's open season on every one of you. Any of your lives can be taken because you're black. Because Alabama has the same law as Florida. The same law as Florida. So you tell me how Michael Vick goes to jail for 21 months for knowing people who fight dogs, but this man runs free for killing a black boy. You tell me how every day, First 48 and cops show pictures of my people wearing chains, but he's running free, getting government protection because people want his life.
Tell about Walmart.
You tell me how companies, major companies, get with the National Rifle Association and support these laws and keep them on the books. It's not fair that Trayvon Martin died, but the bigger thing is it's not fair that in a month or two, no one's gonna care.
We're not going to remember. You may not stand for Trayvon Martin's death. You may not feel it's right, but that soldier is standing for Trayvon Martin's death. That Confederate soldier right there is standing for Trayvon Martin's death. How can we be free black citizens when a Confederate soldier is watching over us right now? Right now! What do you think that man, if he could come alive this moment, every one of you would get lynched off of all of these trees. If he could come alive right now, if he could come alive right now, what do you think he would say? How can we, as citizens of Tuskegee, march and claim we're free when every day we tell our children not to look at that? You gotta free your mind, because they don't give a damn about our bodies.
Again, like I said earlier, unfortunately we're here today, but this is just a reminder that the struggle is still on.
Amen.
The struggle is not over. And some of us grew up in the 60s, 50s, 60s. We'll date ourselves, but that's okay. And I let you know that I witnessed some things in my growing up that I thought was over. When we look at the White House, we look at the State House, we look at the courthouse, and all the positions that, not only political, but just professionalism and all the things that we serve, the positions that we serve and around this world, and all the contributions that people of color have made, you would think that the struggle is over. But no, it's not. We're reminded by this occurrence of young Trayvon that the struggle is still on. And we have to make certain that justice prevails and that the persons who are responsible for this, that they receive the penalties that are associated with that. Thank you all for coming out here today. And thank you for all that you're going to do to make this a better place for all of us. Macon County is standing with the Trayvon standard. Macon County, the entire citizenry of this county. So on behalf of the Macon County Commission, thank all of you for coming out here today. Thank you.